are we here to make promises to other beings?
And if you can fulfill them, no harm in saying what you know it is for peeps. So you have to have a sense of measure for yourself. You need to know what your limitations are before your word is good. You need to know what good word is. So as you say, it happens, and so it is. But there's a world of false promises, for the most part. On so many levels, it's like beyond consideration. People are promised heaven and heavenly delights if they do certain things. Nobody can do that. You don't know what heaven is until you know what heaven is. If you know what heaven is, you don't need to question it. If there is a place. And there is a place. There is a place. A heavenly place. And once you know it, there's nothing else. There's nothing else like it. Nothing else that can turn you away from it, in a sense. People with near-death experiences have a better sense of what it is for themselves. People in the deepest types of meditation have a better sense of what it is for themselves because they're not in the same anguish as most ordinary people who are like in this average human beings conflict sort of seesaw universe. They're not in that. It's gone beyond that. They've gone deeper than conflict. They've gone deeper than self and other. They've gone deeper than this and that. And that's everyone's birthright, so to speak. But not everyone has the karma to be able to pursue it as such, and so not everyone can come to the same conclusion about that. And hopefully it is not a false promise, but everyone has the potential. Now they have to undergo the conditions to manifest it. So having the potential is good information, but then having the means to realize it is the issue of practice and the path itself.
Does this tie to the biblical statement that in the beginning was the Word?
Well, we can say in the beginning was the light. Right? In the beginning was the light, but in the end is the light, and all the time there is a light, so there's only the light. So there's no beginning or end for the light. Wise people know that, so they don't say in the beginning, there's no beginning. It's now. Now is the only beginning. Now is the only end. The rest is drawing lines in the sand, right? So you draw a line in the beach, and the sand, you draw a line in the sand. It begins here and it begins there. No sense. The grains of sand are screaming to you, you don't know what's going on. You can't measure it. It's immeasurable. And the God is the infinite of infinites is immeasurable, so you don't even go there. You don't even try. It's like, whatever that is. And that's everybody. At heart. At the heart level, it's everyone. It's Einstein. It's Beethoven. All the rest.
So are they examples of people who manifest?
Jesus, of course. Buddha. Yeah.
Are these beings who manifest their word, let's say?
Well, they have a distinct relationship to it, say. And so they have a purpose that is related to the word. And let's say for musicians, great musicians, then it's the word and sound. And it might be the melody, the melodic. It might be. That might be the song then for musicians. The truth and the purity of the song, whatever that is. And for poets, it's in the line. For philosophers, it's in the concept. For religious people, it's in the ideas and the beliefs, the promises. And so we're talking about the creative intelligence to know the creative process without having to create false promises. So maybe, if you do this, you have that. You have to find out for yourself, because you need to test it yourself. That's what, I guess you might say, invention is about, testing. Knowing for yourself, knowing what's true, what works. See, the creative works that way. Not only in the spiritual, but in the material, in the artistic, in all of it. That's how it works. Manifestation. How it shows up.
Are we here to make promises to spirit?
You can make a promise to spirit. I mean, you can promise. You can get on your knees and make all kinds of promises, high and low. It's unnecessary. Because whatever that might be knows you better than you do. My father would say, "Fool, what are you doing on your knees? Fool. What are you doing? You're asking me as if I'm not already in you. Fool, already with you, always. Fool. How could you doubt?" I'd say, "Fool, how could you be? If you want for me, whatever the me is in this case."
And then can we make a promise to ourselves?
You can do anything you want. The idea is to know your limits and know that you can be your word. You can know certain things. And you can say and it can be so, depending on certain conditions. Depends on how true you are with what is real to you. And then you can speak in that way. And it will be so, no doubt. You won't have to depend on scriptures for it. Because what it is in your breath, which is what the spirit is about, your breath, not your scripture. See? It's what's living you right now. It's not what you read or could read or ever heard before, because it's alive now. It's what you're hearing, what you're needing to hear now. Not about some other place, not about some other time or some other thing or whatever. It's all about now. This is it. Your nowness is the heaven. See? This is it. For the certain individuals, practicing individuals, now is all. See? Now is realization. See? Now is reality. So on. And that's good practice. Go ahead.
Does nowness take us outside of time?
Well, concept. It's concept. It's an abstraction to understanding anything. So that you have to understand that the teachings are given so that you can change the positioning of being, let's say, the effect or the cause of what it is that happens in your own case. Practice properly enables you to recreate the life, not according to what it was, but according to what it needs to be, outside of the blood, which is part of the gravitational influences of the earth, which serve a purpose, but not the highest purpose. See? They will make sure you get to the grave. They will not assure you anything about heaven because they don't have anything to do with heaven. Heaven is transcendent. And the mind of heaven is transcendent. So who do you know in your ancestry or in your religion that's got transcendent intelligence? I'm sure you have to get it. Who has the transcendent intelligence that you know is what that is? See? You have to find that for yourself.
Are spiritual vows a higher form of promise?
It could be. You can say that. Spiritual vows in terms of what, exactly? You mean like the Bodhisattva vow?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a promise, but you know you have to do it because everybody around you, if you're a Bodhisattva, right, is doing it. So you have no choice but to do it. And they'll come after you if you know. The Bodhisattvas don't do that. Right, so in other words, it becomes understood. So it's not even a promise. It's understood so that it can be done. So you don't have to promise. You know what it is, and you do it. It's no promise. It's just breathing. It's all in the breathing. The magic is in the breathing, and the understanding of the breathing is part of a process that is part of the universe. It's done. It's not just personal, it's impersonal. That means it's bigger than yourself and your problems and all your issues, your personal issues, your bodily stuff. It's bigger than that, see. Your breath is part of the universe, bigger than your problems.